we're going to begin our engagement roll. So, the first question. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Also, I, at this time, want to ask, what is everybody's load?
Light.
I'm gonna go medium.
Oh, medium too.
Yeah, medium.
Final answer, Lottie?
No, I can. Light is 3 items.
Three,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I can use light. I don't
Okay.
need more.
Okay. So, back to the original question. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
It's definitely spooky. And spooky is
Oh, wait.
daring.
But we do have a whisper. We're kind of going in at least a bit prepared. I don't think it is.
Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of a target or hit them where it's weakest?
He's got a
Yes.
weakness for the occult, yeah. An arcane.
Yeah.
Okay. Can any of your friends or contacts aid?
Yes. I can use the help of Casta, my bounty hunter friend, I think.
How are they helping?
Maybe to making him nervous that what is chasing him is getting closer and he needs to get help as soon as possible.
Okay. Anybody else?
Omen, you must have someone. Come on.
I will ask the my only strange friend if he could, because one is telling him that things are getting worse. I will ask the other guy who do things because it is the vampire. So if he can do something
The vampire?
to make it even to do something weird to feel everything worse.
Okay. Are there any other elements you would like to consider? This guy's by himself, so he would be technically lower tier than even you guys. All right. So that I'm feeling 3 die here, unless somebody has something else they want to mention. Silence is my answer.
I can't think of anything.
All right. 3. A 6. So you're in a controlled position. So, Hestia,
That's me.
we will start with you.
Yes, I would like to wear my Saturday's finest, and get my little notebook and my and a little press badge, and go to the factory and try to get his side of the story.
You can take my Find Disguise kit if you want.
Fantastic. That's what I do.
All right. I I do have a very important question here. Hestia, are you also doing anything with that disguise kit? Are you doing anything to make your face look different?
Yeah, okay, definitely. I'm dyeing my hair, a wild shade. And I apologize, Brolin, that I'm doing this, but I'm going to like put dye my hair purple, put feathers in my hair. I'm going to get like little fake scales and put them on my neck, and adopt the visage of a stereotypical Taichirosi.
If there's a role, I'm happy to assist.
Thank you.
Yes, I am gonna require a roll since
What's
this...
your mother look like?
I am gonna require a roll for this one because that's... We're talking a little bit of prosthetics, like, this is a little bit more advanced.
Sure. Is this Tinker?
Tinker certainly would work here.
You got +1 from me, though, so I take the stress.
Oh, fantastic. That's so kind of you, Brolin.
If you're going to insult my nation, you might as well insult it correctly.
And this is controlled?
Yes, this is control.
Oh no.
Resist.
Yeah. So it's that scene. It's that scene from every single movie with a fitting room. It's me opening the thing, and I look like your grandmother, but like after she's passed. And then I shut the door. Pull the shades closed, and I'm gonna try it one more time.
Give me the resist insight.
Hey, that's a 6. I'll take that 6.
Your outfit's still not, let's just say not good. You look like a Taichirosi that maybe has been sick for a very long time. A couple of the scales on your neck look like they might be peeling soon, but you know. You can pass it off as you've been very sick.
Not in the greatest of health. It's why I carry my Omen-approved Spirit Bane charm. And so,
If you want, you can directly take a Demon Bane charm.
I can't. I already took the disguise kit that was so wonderfully unhelpful.
Well, technically, I will allow you to backtrack here. It could technically have been Brolin, since Brolin was assisting.
I don't have a Demon Bane charm.
No, I was saying it could have been your actual disguise kit, which means it would have counted for your load.
Oh, okay. I will take that. Yeah.
All right.
I will mark it off on the marker.
Love a little bit of a retcon.
Yeah.
Not really.
Thanks, Wyverian.
Not really even that much of a retcon.
All
So
right.
you're a proper Demon Bane charm. The good
Yeah.
stuff.
I attach this to a bow and like place it around my neck, front and center. I will. Is there? Oh, I don't know. Like, is there journalism, like a reporter's entrance to this building? I don't want to show up unannounced, but also here I am unannounced.
Unfortunately, this place isn't going to have like a journalist entry. It's the front door or the back doors, so to speak. The big warehouse type back doors, though. When they have to receive shipments or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to cross the picket line. Not a scab. I go to the back.
And it isn't too hard to find his office, which he is currently sitting at a desk, mahogany. His office is a mess of papers. And we're not talking your standard, oh, this guy has a lot of work mess. We're talking stacks of loose leaf paper that might be pushing 3 to 4 feet.
This man needs a chair in his office.
Oh, he's sitting in a chair. He is currently bent over his desk. His hair is a little bit of a mess. He is curling his mustache as he's looking down through some papers at his desk.
Yeah, I appear in the doorway, and I'm like, knock, knock, knock. It's Matilda Piper with the Duskfall Daily News. I wanted to get your side of this whole kerfluffle.
He kind of looks up. I'm sorry. What? You're with who and what kerfuffle?
Oh, have you not? I'm so sorry. There is a crowd hurling insults and negative, just slander, and I'm sure libel is involved somehow. They go hand in hand. And what you need, sir, if I may say, is a PR campaign. And so I'd like to write about you. I think what you're doing is what wonderful for the community, and you need to be appreciated. You should be you're doing good here, sir.
Oh, if this was any other game system, I'd be like, make me a composure check.
I would fail.
He kind of shakes his head. The incident outside. Oh, yes. He kind of gestures for you to take a seat. He has 2 chairs in front of his desk. It's just a misunderstanding. They'll get over it. If they want to keep their jobs, they'll get over it, of course.
Of course. Jobs. I mean, everyone needs one. And so they're thankful to have one.
Do you actually take a seat?
I pick the cleaner of the 2 chairs, and if one is not an option, I gingerly place one on another 4-foot stack.
No, both chairs are available. The cleaner of the 2. As you kind of sit down, you do notice that a lot of the documents on his desk, you would expect business ledgers. Instead, you start to notice that the papers are covered with different symbols. If you wanna try and figure out what any of those symbols mean, you're gonna need to roll.
No, I think I look down and I'm like, oh, math. Yes, I'm aware of math. Sir, do you have hobbies on the side? I bet you are a learned man. Tell me more about these about your hobbies, sir?
He kind of blinks, and you see him kind of rub his forehead. Very shortly, he kind of leans down, and you hear some clanking of glasses. He sets out 2 glasses, and he fills them full of what you would assume smells like bourbon. And he downs his 1 shot, 1 gulp, and he goes, rough couple of years, but and it's at this point he kind of notices the charm around your neck. I suppose it's at least somewhat safe to talk. I've had kind of
Oh yes, we're both friends here.
I've had a rough couple of years. Got involved with some bad dealings, let's just say, and quite frankly, not enough money in the whole of the empire to satisfy what I need.
You know what I say? I say that everyone just needs. If everyone had the wealth of an empire, imagine what great things we could do. I'm sure you could do twice as much. You have a factory. You're well-to-do, educated, and you know something good when you see it.
Sadly, I apparently don't know what bad looks like when it comes in and knocks on my front door, though.
Ironic. Well, you know, sir, may I call you Braun? We're on first names here. Matilda. By the way, I'm Matilda. Matilda Piper.
On him, and he kind of offers a hand out to shake.
I'm like mid-sip, or mid like bringing up the cup. I set it down and shake his hand, and the pleasure's all mine, sir. Yes, you were talking about your hobbies.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a hobby. And he kind of leans back. That charm that you wear there, how much do you actually know about it?
It, it came from a very special person in my life. And I like to, it protects me every day from both, the demons at bay and the demons that live in our heart.
There's sort of a chortle that comes out of him as he kind of walks over. He stands up, walks over to his window, kind of looks out for a moment. You can see he's kind of looking down at the crowd. He walks back over and then pours himself another glass, and he goes, I don't know about that second one, but I can tell you with what I'm dealing with, that little charm there, it would be like taking a fly swatter and trying to hit a leviathan with a fly swatter.
Well, I look around. We're friends, right?
I don't consider anybody a friend but my cat. And he throws back another drink.
I follow suit. I give that like shiver, and I hand him my cup to fill it back up. My grandfather was a very special man in our family, and he doesn't look his age. That man It's not aged a day. And, you know, if you're looking for something stronger, I have a few family heirlooms, but it's gonna cost you, sir. I need this story, and so, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And I take out my notepad and pencil.
He kind of raises an eyebrow. Your grandfather seems like an interesting man.
He's somewhat strange, actually.
Well, those that tend to collect things tend to be strange in their own ways. But yes, if you want the story about what's going on, they're upset over a little payment. They were expecting more than what I gave them, apparently.
Typical. Typical.
How's Hestia's face when she says typical?
There is an active grimace. But I'm definitely hoping that it's construed as your plight is so bad, I can't keep, I'm having a hard time with this conversation, and not that, like, I don't like you with every fiber of my being.
He kind of nods. Unfortunately, your statement about cost is, well, certainly not foreign to me. I have spent a veritable fortune. I would probably be able to afford a mansion in White Crown with the amount of money I've already spent.
Well, what's a little more between friends and family?
So, this grandfather of yours, would I be able to meet with him, speak with him? At this point, I'm willing to look towards private collectors and the like to see if they might have something I could use.
Yes, of course. He's a little, private. And so I can arrange something with him. But it'll take me a few days. It's not like I can just call up this man on the phone. He's got important things to do. And but yeah, you'll hear from me. Now about that interview. And I'm also fine with fading to black here.
Yes. The interview goes on for roughly about 2 hours. It is just kind of standard information. They're claiming that they deserve more money. He can't provide that money because that money is already being turned directly into the factory, essentially, for, as he puts it, upgrades.
Do I glean any new information from him from this?
He does make it somewhat known that not all of the power is going to Dusk Vault itself. Some of it is being siphoned off for other uses.
Terrifying. Alright, I can't get out of there fast enough. I exit through the back. And I leave as inconspicuously as possible. Those that disguise the scales that goes into the water. I take my coat and turn it around the outside, and run backwards. I run, backtrack, go, gone.
Now that you're gone, a couple of days have passed. How do you send for him?
Does anyone have a spooky pet? A spooky anything?
A spooky grandma, but she doesn't go outside the house.
Okay.
I can send a ghost. It's absolutely spooky. It's not exactly a pet.
It is terrifying. Do you have a grandfather you can bring him back? Okay, I think it's a letter. It's definitely a letter. Written in my own blood. Now, steak blood. Whatever. Not my own blood. I'm not giving an occultist my own blood. But yeah, it says the time and a place, and it has I get Omen to draw like a fake arcane sigil, and then I write MP after it and send it off.
Absolutely not a fake thing. I'm actually doing something that is correct.
What symbol are you actually drawing here, Omen? I already knew for a fact he wasn't gonna do a fake one. I was just like, he's not doing fake.
It's a runic symbol of the name and what's the actual language? What do we call the language? Common? Imperial?
Imperial.
Imperial. Okay, translated into Imperial would roughly translate the dangerous change which bring victory. I don't know if he knows it, but in my mind is if this guy knows about the occult, we'll see something interesting. If it does not, it's just a really geometrically correct rune.
So, Bron here shows up at the address and the time. Who's all here at the location Hestia has arranged?
I'm guessing
I imagine I'm
Brolin.
here.
I'm guessing Brolin is your grandfather now.
I love it. I've got an uncle and a grandfather.
It's so yeah. I'm going to mark off. I'm going to mark off sword cane, and I'm not using the sword bit of it, but I'm certainly resting on it. So I'm in. Although Brolin certainly doesn't look old enough to be Hestia's grandfather, he certainly kind of has the slightly stooped posture and.
Are you also here, Lottie and Omen?
I thought he's gonna arrive a little bit later.
Okay.
I'd say I am, but I'm out of sight.
So
I'm not planning to be seen at all, if possible.
Bron walks up over to Brolin. Ah, you must be Matilda's father. Or grandfather.
Grandfather. Yeah.
Evelios.
Grandfather.
The pleasure is all mine.
She wasn't lying. You definitely look like you look young. Wouldn't have even guessed you were her father.
It's very kind, but my body seems to disagree.
Well,
I will swap hands with the cane and go for a handshake.
He shakes your hand and he goes, "So, I've been told that you are a collector of certain things that might be of an interest to me."
Well, they might be of interest for you, but it's not a gallery and it's not a public sale.
Oh, I didn't expect it to be. It'd be awkward if it was.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. I wouldn't want to... I mean, let's be honest, they do stand to gain a lot, but let's have them not selling it before I'm even off the mortal coil. Sort of look at Matilda. With a slight... you haven't even got your inheritance yet, don't try.
I wouldn't assume Matilda is here because that disguise was junked.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yes.
gone.
Oh yeah. It's so yes. Which one of them is selling off their inheritance before I'm gone?
Well, as stated, I spoke with your granddaughter Matilda, so where are these items?
Well, I don't carry them all around with me. I mean, some of them are rather large. Some of them are a little bit cumbersome.
All right.
I'm actually waiting on to procure something, which is well.
Oh, what are you waiting to procure?
Never mind. Forget I spoke.
I'm sorry. That's not something I'm very capable of doing. I've got quite the meticulous memory here, and he kind of taps his head. And he looks over it.
At this point, I would like to call a flashback.
Okay.
And seeing as how we are in Crowsfoot and the aforementioned crows are involved,
Oh no.
I would like to offer them basically to sort of circulate something. They steal something of particular value, sell it to me, and essentially that, and then basically once this is over, then we'll cut them in on the deal. But essentially, I want a couple of crows to show up with something of particular note.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll as well here.
This is... I'm going to push myself. How much on the stress for this one?
It's only going to be one stress and a roll in this case.
Okay, I'm gonna push myself. 2. And I'm gonna consult because.
Okay.
6.
6. They agree to your price that you offer them. It is also around this time that a couple members of the Crow stop by your meeting. Brown kind of gives them a wide berth, kind of realizing who they are. And money is exchanged hands right then and there. And you receive the item that you ask for, which is...
At this point, absolutely something of absolutely no... It's just an empty box. The real deal is in another box, which I'd like to ask Omen to procure, of something that's legitimate.
I I wanted to know more before calling for something. Could I also call a flashback of and have built or created or use and strengthen a not going to call it an artifact, but still a something.
Absolutely. This will be same situation. 1 stress and a roll.
I would either study. Would attune work because I had dealt with
Attune
the
would work
powers,
if you did
or study.
If you did study, that would be a downgraded effect.
If I did study, it would be downgraded.
Yeah.
Then I'll
Attune.
do attune.
Yeah, attune sounds more useful here.
Okay, and the position controlled, right?
Yeah.
Or rescue. Okay. Submit. Yeah. 6.
You're definitely able to create a fortified item. What exactly is this item, and what exactly did you fortify about it, though?
I started from a demon bane charm, and I transformed it to a much more elaborate jewel. And the point is not to defend from a demon that is after you, but hide you from demons. In an attempt of making them incapable of seeing you there,
Okay.
or seeing you in general.
Alright.
Unless you obviously go after them.
Yeah.
That's your issue.
Excellent. So with that jewel in hand, Brolin, do
I
you
will-
signal for Omen or anything?
I am expecting my expert to come along and validate it, because when you deal with criminals, you don't quite know what you're getting. Supposedly.
Is this big enough for me to come down? If it is, I'll come down.
So,
I would say
Allow
around
me-
this time also, Lottie. You would show up at this little meet and greet, we'll call this right now.
oh, and what are you called for this one, Lottie?
What do you mean by that?
What do I call you? What's your name?
Oh, Amelia Alfort. Amelia Alfort. Going to
It's-
pretend to be my cousin, my own cousin.
This is, as Lottie comes in, this is Amelia Alfort. She was the one who brokers all these deals for me. She finds things, connections on the dregs of society.
I am actually
Who's
going to
selling
roll a fortune roll here.
Good or bad?
We're rolling hot today.
It's the fortune roll, so I don't know.
The Alfort family. I've heard of you.
I bet you have. And our reputation is in this domain, I'm afraid. I hope it doesn't spook you in any way.
Yeah, he kind of chuckles. I've had some run-ins with certain things myself, so, the fact that you're here, while it doesn't bring comfort, it brings some assurance. So, you were talking about something about an expert showing up, or something like that?
All in time, my friend.
Kind of begins to tap his foot somewhat impatiently.
I'll start tapping the cane in as well until Omen gets here, and just literally making this the most awkward, uncomfortable silence I can.
I will throw in then. I wait for it to be uncomfortable and awkward enough before coming.
By the time you come
nice.
in, Braun has somewhat started pacing, and he's kind of looking at his watch, and it's definitely looking like he's getting ready to leave. Right when you arrive.
Check my watch. I thought we agreed on the hour. I'm glad you could join us. So go on then, and I will take up the other box and go. You're the eyes on this. Is Amelia's word good on this one?
I start studying the object before simply nodding.
What does it do?
Is this wait? This is the one I made up?
Yeah.
Okay. For those who wish to not be seen by things beyond the veil, a hide for the monsters who hunt. Life itself, it is a good escape, for they will not see.
I don't want to not be seen. I want to explore. I want to know the minds. I want to see what it is that's there beyond the veil.
You looked for the wrong object.
Yeah, I'm fully aware of that now. And this is what happens when you deal with criminals. I'll say that to Bron. Well,
I'd be interested in that, though. He does kind of eye it somewhat interestedly, since it is now in your possession, and he kind of nods his head into Brolin. It's not necessarily what you want. How much would you be willing to sell it to me for?
well, that's all. Oh, well, I mean, I had the additional research. Obviously, I had Amelia's fee. Sorry to waste your time on this one, old girl. It's and then paying off the crows. If I break even, I'll be happy.
And what's
About 10
breaking
coin.
even?
About 10 coin from what I work out off the top of my head.
6.
8, and I'm cutting my own throat doing that.
He kind of looks around. Go ahead and give me a roll here.
It's gonna be a sway.
Yeah.
Can I assist by taking out, pretending to be really interesting because this is the real deal that it is, but...
You can certainly assist by doing that. Take the stress? Or do you want... Yeah, that would be taking the stress. But...
And I'll +1. A 5.
5. That's success with a complication, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
7. And not a coin more.
Well, a coin more would be 8, wouldn't it? Fine, but you're... This is robbery, you know that.
I wouldn't call it robbery. I'd call it a smart business deal on your end.
Fine, and I'll snap the case shut.
Well, He extends a hand out to take the case from you.
Where's the coin?
He nods. He reaches into his vest and he pulls out a small bag. And he goes, "Feel free to count it. It's there. I'm good on my word."
And I will take a moment to count it, and at this point I want to make a brief eye contact with Amelia.
As I see him giving me the look, I'm going to pick my pistol that I hide inside my outfit and pointed it at the back of his head and said, "What? It's not going to work," and just shoot him point blank.
What floor are we on?
Oh,
We've discussed this. I am taking armor.
It's a blank. You're safe.
Oh. Okay, in that case, I would like.
For real.
In that case, I would like
I'm
to.
shooting from behind you, so it can see that it's blank.
Oh, in that case, I would like to call another flashback.
okay.
And I would like to set up under my clothes some kind of squib, so it literally covers the table in blood.
Okay, so just to confirm, Amelia just shot. I forget what name you gave. Brolin.
Evelios.
Evelios.
Yeah.
As that happens, Bron just kind of steps back and goes, "What the?" And hands immediately go up.
I've been looking for this mine for quite a while, and he got himself in some kind of funny business, I may say. Did you give him the artifacts?
No, it was on the table while I counted the money.
I pick it up, and toy and play with it.
Hey, he sold that. Rightfully, that's mine.
That was not his to begin with. My client would be very pleased to get this back, and if you are smart, and I hope you are, because I heard quite some stuff about you too. You will run far from this town as soon as you can, and it will be now. Don't look back, because if you waste one moment, you will have a lot of people on your trail. And I'm just going to poke the little thing that I don't know what it is.
Hammer.
It's not a trigger.
Hammer.
The hammer, and like I'm preparing to shoot him too.
He looks over to see Omen's reaction to this, to see if he's the only one in shock here.
Oh, can't hear you.
I tried to run away the moment she's shot because I was and because you told all of these things. I assume when I was not told. But even if I was, I'm still running.
Fair enough. Okay.
I was like, I came out in the door, looked at the thing, someone shot. That's the door. I'm out.
Braun begins to start. I really need that. Okay, you have it. Double.
Double. To be 14. I mean, could have it for 14. What if we make a deal? I could for 17. I could also forget, I see. Could forget your face. For 18, I could also draw a little story. Make sure no one's following me.
I'll be honest, I don't have that. 14's the max I had. 14 was the highest I was gonna go. Luckily that one guy was a pushover though.
Kind of was funny to watch.
So I can do 14 and then run.
Can you go 15?
I mean, if I give you the clothes off my back, maybe.
That might too. Let's have that, and you will not bother, but you have to run.
And with that, he literally strips down to everything but his small clothes. Shoes, shoes included.
So, being very much alive, but probably not the focus of attention, I would like, if Lottie holds the box down to one side, I will do a swap with the one that I got from the crows.
I'm gonna need a roll.
Okay, what is it, finesse?
Finesse is certainly will work.
Oh, I'm pushing myself again on this one. Whew.
I can assist while we'll distract him.
Yeah, I will take the 2 on this one. This is 4 die in that case.
Yeah.
My heart's going a mile a minute. I'm not.
Next session, all dead. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1.
I'm not rolling again. I'm calling it there. I hereby retire from Blade to the Dark.
With that, you're able to make the switch, and he is certainly not the wiser. He was too busy, pulling off his pants at that moment to notice the switch. He grabs the box and books it.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Wyverian and Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, remember the first rule of a con. Offer them everything for nothing, and give them nothing for everything.